Okay. So what will you do here, Rayansh?
So rook takes e5.
Okay, and Trinesh
Rook takes e5.
and Parth.
Rook takes e5.
So after rook takes, king takes, what's the next move?
King to g4. Pawn
Say, okay, pawn f4 and
king g4.
okay. So this is a very important thing to understand because people draw from winning positions
Yeah.
because of not knowing how to win with one pawn.
So you
So
taught me
if
here.
so pushing the pawn is a mistake. You cannot win after this because your king cannot come in front of the pawn anymore. You can win only if your king goes ahead and helps the pawn forward. If you do this, the same situation will go till there and it will become a stalemate at the end. Like this same situation, king here. Imagine the same position there. It's a stalemate. So that's what will happen, which is why you should be playing king to g4. Now after king to f6, what's the next move, Parth? Yes, Parth.
Pawn to f4.
And Rayansh?
King to f4.
Okay, and Trinesh?
King f4.
Okay, this time Parth went wrong. If you push the pawn again, your king is not ahead now. Now your king can never come ahead. If your king cannot come ahead, you can't win. So that is why you should be playing king f4. And now when the king goes one side, Rayansh?
King to e5.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is how you win. You keep going up with the king. He moves here. Yes, Parth.
We can now move the pawn.
If you move the pawn, again you have made a mistake.
Then we can move the king to f. Oh yeah. Then
You go to f5, go to f7. You can't go ahead. That's the problem.
Again opposition.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to
King
be
to
able to
F.
move. Yeah, when the king moves here, you play king f5, not pawn. And if he goes this side,
Go to the other side.
yeah, and now he goes here.
And now you push the pawn.
Yeah, now it's time to push the pawn because even if opponent can oppose you, you will still get one more move and your king is still ahead. So you push the pawn. It looks like he will oppose you. Now you can't go forward with the king, but you can. You just pass the move to your opponent. And after he makes the move, what's the next move, Parth?
King f6.
Yeah, king f6. Hey, pawn f6 will also win, but that's a different thing. King moves.
King
And-
to f7.
G7, and that's it. Game over, right? I mean, you promote, and I believe you know how to do a queen checkmate.
So I better knew in beginner.
Okay.
Beginner I knew.
The number of stalemates you have given, no?
Yeah, I've given many times on chess. Like I just got one today. No, not today. I don't play today. Yesterday.
Yes, no excuse
Something
for giving
in
stalemate.
June, I think on June 21st when I played, I played 2 games. One I won, one I was winning, but then it became a stalemate.
That's because of being careless. There is no excuse of allowing a stalemate. When it happens in a tournament, you will understand the pain. There's just carelessness, unless it's forced, which it usually is not.
Yeah. So how do we do first? Okay.
Like what we give up a rook when there's no move for the king, we give up our last piece and becomes a stalemate. I mean, opponent has to take it and then becomes a stalemate. That's how it's forced.
Especially if it's a check or
Yeah.
because
So
we have
let's.
to always like make sure it's a check or else we have to
Huh.
make sure they have one square at least.
Yeah, that's all. That's all we need to do. So here,
That's all.
this is a very nice position. You've got a knight ending, 3 pawns each and a knight. How are we going to?
It's equals.
It's equal, but we're going to win.
White to
Yes, everything is white to move.
So what's the topic for today?
Endgames. It's the last week of the month, so Endgames. Hello, Maya. So, let's think for 1 minute and then we will discuss.
Sir, is it white to move?
Everything is white to play, Myra. Here we have to find the best move, and if you find the best move, you will win the game. If you don't find the move, it will probably be a draw. It's an equal position.
Unless they do
There's
something
just
like
one chance for you in this exact position, and if that chance is missed, it's gonna be a draw.
that. Right.
I mean, you can try to win. You can bring your king and try to win, but usually
That's
it will
really
become a
going to
draw.
be hard.
Yeah. But if you find this move, it's gonna be easy.
But can they still like defend?
No. Once you find this
So
move,
it's
it's
like a
gone.
forced
So
checkmate.
forced checkmate. How can it be forced? There's a lot of moves before checkmate, na. But the checkmate happens way later. Forced means whatever they do, this checkmate. That's not. There's no forced here.
Force means there's no way to stop the motion or something.
Ah, yeah,
Be like that.
yeah. So here, anybody decided already?
Nope.
Rayan just decided. What is it?
Knight to b3.
Knight to b3. How is that winning? I just bring my knight back.
When we play knight to d4.
Ah, you were here. You came to d4. It's the same thing. I just move my king. This is not winning. Your knight was already here attacking the pawn. You transferred it to d4. Still attacking the pawn. It's not doing anything here.
Once.
Ah, but that pawn is defended. So let's go back. Where was the knight here, right? So that doesn't do anything. I'll give a clue. You need a clue?
Knight.
Yes, sir. We need it.
Knight d7.
Knight d7. What does it? I'll move the king.
Why do we even need to play that?
No, he's trying to come to f6, but even if you come to a great square, there's very less pawn, so nothing doing. There's no point of coming to a great square.
So can you give a clue?
Yeah.
Unless
So,
it's checkmate square.
See, if you see this position, there must be a reason for you to be winning. You can't just win just because it's there. I mean, if it's same material and white's winning, there must be a reason for that. No? What is that reason? What could be the reason white is winning?
Step king a2.
Not the move, mister. I'm talking about the position. What in the position allows white to get the chance? Path.
To kick the kicking tonight? I don't know.
Knight.
Knight? What knight? Okay, Myra first.
Because the pawns are closer to the motion.
That's true, but it's not enough to win because his king is right there. The reason this is winning is because the black knight is way out of reach, far away, and knight on the rim is dim, and knight on the edge falls over. So the knight's in the edge. That's the clue. You have a way to win this piece. Are you sure you found the answer, Parth? What does it mean?
Yes.
Okay, fine. What does it mean?
King to e2.
King to e2 wins the knight.
Okay.
You attack a knight, you get.
They can give check.
1 more, 10 more, 20 moves. You need to win the piece, mister. You're simply saying you need to attack a knight and win. That's it.
They're going
That's
to
not
give a
winning.
check.
There is a way to win the piece. You need to find. Don't forget about the number of moves. It's not about the number of moves. You have a way to win the knight. Whether it is 1, 2, or 3 doesn't matter. There is a way, a clear path to winning this knight. That's what we have to find out. So for that, you have to think. It's a very satisfying move. If you find this move during a game, you can sit back and enjoy your opponent in shock.
By eating popcorn.
Yeah. Yes, Rayan.
So knight to d3.
Knight to d3. And why do you say you're winning there? You have a knight, I have a knight, you have a king, I have a king. How are you winning?
So of course
Oh,
I'm
you
saying-
thought you were stopping my knight from coming out. Ah, no. I've got 2 squares to come out. But you're close. The way of thinking is close. He tried to lock my knight here. But he did it with the wrong lock.
So knight a4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you sit back and enjoy the moment. Opponent's knight is gone.
Oh yeah, we can just
Why
kick
would we-
it and then.
Kick it.
No, like
Attack him with the king.
That's it. Knight trap.
I was thinking of that.
You were thinking of that? Okay.
I was just making sure of the next move.
Okay, alright. So you basically cover these 2 squares. These 2 are already covered by the kings.
Sir,
That is why we should
but
not
one
go.
thing.
Huh.
When you play king to e2,
Huh.
knight will move somewhere random.
Where?
Then the king will be out of reach to the other position.
You're up a piece, mister. Whether king is already, you're up a piece. You just come and take his pawns with your knight and king. That and all, you will win automatically. Na?
But all of the
Pick up
pieces are
pawns.
protected.
You have a knight, na? You can bring the knight. You bring your king here. You bring your knight here and take. When you're up material, how do you win? You gang upon opponent's pieces. If you have 2 pieces, he has 1 piece. You attack it with 2 pieces. He can't defend with the second piece. He doesn't have a second piece. So he'll lose it. So that's how you win. So now he'll move his king. You will move your king. He'll move his king. You will take the knight. He can come here, but that doesn't concern us. It's fine. We just bring on.
Or you could just move the knight when he attacks. If he attacks.
He moves the knight. He moves the king. We.
Check.
No.
Sir, we can do a check on.
Yeah, but we need to activate a king. No? The knight cannot win the game by itself. You need to activate your king. Knight in game is just like a pawn in game. You need to bring your king
So
up.
instead of king to b5, you can play king to d5.
But then we play king d3, no? We're not going to allow opponent's king to come into the game. You're going to win the game. You're up a piece. You just have to use your king properly. And now next is, let's say he moves his king. You bring your king up. Just use your king. Just treat it like a pawn in game. And knight in game is mostly like a pawn in
back
game.
and then take it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next position. Next one is also very interesting.
So that is not so hard.
Not so hard. That's why even after giving the clue, you couldn't find it. No?
So my one move I told at first was the second move of the.
That's a big difference. Simply attacking a knight and trapping a knight are two different things.
For some reason, in chess.com they gave you some kind of 1 out of 2, and then we get some like points into a puzzle rating.
1 out of 2 meaning it's a draw. Oh my god.
Second, over here. This is the position. It is white to play. What will you do for white is the question. Trinesh, place it properly. You're lifting the carpet.
What's up?
Rook versus 2 pawns.
Rook will lose.
2 runaway pawns.
Okay, for shit.
This is
You need to think. Let others also think. So when you think of a move, calculate. You're like playing one move and that's it. Calculate, man. See
No,
what
sir, I
happens.
just completed that.
You complete that. Okay,
Yes.
fine. Okay, Trinesh, what is your move? Rook a4.
Rook A4.
I move my king, then
And then move rook to a8.
rook to 8. Is that everyone's idea?
no.
What is your idea?
So first play king to g6.
Huh? You want to play king g6. I push my pawn.
Okay.
Then you're going to lose the game. What is your move, Rayansh?
King to f4.
King to f4. I push my pawn. Wait. Yeah, I push my pawn.
King to f3.
King to f3. Wait a minute. Wait, one second, just a second. So I'll push the h pawn first. So that when you play king f3, I'll play king h3. Now you're busted.
My move is correct.
We'll get there. Patience. Your move is like a different kind of stuff, no? So we'll go there afterwards. First, let's consider the main. So now black is going to win because once he pushes the pawn, it's over.
Wait 1 second.
You can play rook a2, but I'll promote. Can't do anything.
No, can't do something.
What can you? Rook all the way back.
Yeah.
That's a good try.
I did.
Wait a minute. If you go rook all the way back,
Oh yeah, then you can play. Oh yeah.
I can
It will
promote
be
the
check,
question.
it will be
I
check.
promote the queen and it'll be check. So that'll be
So,
back.
yeah,
So let's
that's
go
not
back.
possible.
Let's go
Not
back.
fully
One
back.
second. Now, Myra, did you have any idea? Okay, so now let's consider Trinesh's move. One second. He gives a check, makes the king go back, and then plays a very weird looking all the way back. Not even coming to stop the pawns. He goes back. So with rooks, when you have a rook against opponent's king or you have a rook opponent as rook, usually the rook is better off going back, giving checks from backwards. That's when the rook is useful. Front, it will not have much space to do things. When you go back, there is so much space. So this is a very good move. He's threatening checkmate. So I have to play king h6.
Then
This
you can
move.
just play the king.
Huh? You can just what?
You can just play the king.
Then we'll keep dancing up and down. We want to win the game, na? You're up a rook. We're not trying to draw the game. We're trying to win the game. What's the next
now,
move?
And now we play rook to a3.
Then I push the pawn. I'll push the pawn, right? You cannot stop two pawns with a rook.
A6.
Huh?
A6.
Making the king again move down.
h8.
Yeah, just rook h8. This is like beginner level stuff. Why are we complicating things? You did the hard work. Now all you have to do is rook h8 and take the pawn.
Oh.
Why are we worried about this? Just rook h8. There's nothing to think. rook check, king moves, rook takes. That's it. And now he pushes the pawn, that also goes. No problem. No? Okay, let's go to the next position.
So will black finally have one winning position?
We're looking from this side. Otherwise, you have to think from here, which is hard for you. So that's why I'm giving only white to play positions.
What hard position?
Hard, yeah, but during a game you won't think from this side, no? You'll think from this side. No? So, okay. White to play and win. It's like a very simple position. Maybe chess.com decided to give us a very simple position to make you happy. Trinesh is decided in 2 seconds, which is usually a bad thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's probably wrong also. I don't know.
So
You have to learn by now that playing a move fast is bad in chess. 99.9% of the time. Both of you need to understand.
1% is there.
Yes. So out of 100 games, you will win 99.9. I mean, you will lose 99.9. That's not
So
good.
every move in every game of mine, every game in class, I'm always lesser in time.
Okay, then why are you playing fast here?
Just because I just noticed the move.
Okay, fine. Tell us the move.
King to g6.
And you
That's
win.
what I was going to tell, sir.
King
So
to-
that's what I was
Nothing
going
to-
to tell.
Okay, so everybody is saying it's simple position. Why should I give you this position, right?
Yeah, not
It's
saying
not even
it's
beginners. It's complete beginners will tell the move, right? King to
No,
g6.
they'll
You guys
play-
have blundered.
Then play pawn to h5.
Yeah, the beginners will be pawn to h5.
Yeah.
And they'll win the game. That's what they'll do. King to g6 is a blunder. That is why even in the most casual, easy looking positions, you still have to stop and think. Nothing in chess is easy. When you're completely winning also, you have to think. If you take it casually, you will miss winning moves. You will lose games from winning position. Here you won't lose, it'll be a draw. Why? King g6, what's the problem?
Sir, king can play f4 and you can play the pawn and protect it. We can take the pawn.
Calculate now what we can, only you can. So king g6, king f4, calculate. What? Trinesh, king g6, king f4, what next?
We move pawn h5.
Then what will opponent do?
They will the king g4.
Then what will you do?
We can't take the pawn.
What will you do?
I don't know.
That's the problem. So you're stopping a calculation out of king g6, pawn h5, done.
Sir, no.
Sir,
I know.
Okay, fine. You didn't stop. Fine. King g6, king f4, then
King g6, king f4. Pawn to
h5, king g4.
king g4.
What
Then
is-
back again. Oh, that.
Again, back on top of my king. What is him? That's the problem.
Sir,
Calculation is the key. Yes.
Sir, if we play king g6, we still have a chance.
King g6, king f4. What chance? What's your next
King
move?
to h5. Just a draw.
King to h5, king f5. I've stalemated you. That's a nice one, isn't it? King g6, king f4. He's saying he can still come back and win this. No, mister. Now you shake hands. Because it's a stalemate. I stalemated you. Normally the winning side stalemates the losing side, but
So
here
how
the...
did-
Losing.
Like, same.
Yeah, it's a draw. Whether you stalemate your opponent or opponent stalemates you, it's the same thing.
Or, sir,
So-
I don't think that would have happened because maybe the game in between would have been also a draw.
Game in between.
In between the game,
In
like
What I say, Mr.
in
Park.
between the game, like middle game or something, maybe a draw even happened.
A lot of things could have happened, but if you reach this position,
Sir,
then you
show
might.
us how pawn to h5 wins.
No, why should I calculate? No, where is the mindset to calculate? This is the position, right? Yeah. Here. Wait, was this the
No, no,
position?
sir, it's not.
Yeah, king was over here. Yeah. So this was the position. Playing king to g6. No, sorry. This king had moved here. This was the position. King g6 looks like the easiest of wins, but it's a draw. Pawn h5, calculate, Mr. Rayan. Please tell us what happens after pawn h5. Nothing. What will black do after pawn h5?
Pawn to g6.
He'll simply give up the pawn. Why would you do
So I
that?
think the right move-
Then you just take and promote. No, there's nothing to calculate there. No, let Rayansh calculate. Pawn to h5. What will black do, Rayansh? Rayansh is stuck. There's nothing to do.
So the only thing I can
You
do is the
have
parent
to.
the other.
King where? One thing. King?
e6.
King e6. Then what will white do?
King to g6.
Is it winning?
Yeah.
So after pawn h5, what if he comes here?
King to.
Still king g6?
Yeah.
King f4? Take.
Take.
Simple win.
Yeah.
So the only problem is you have to calculate just one move ahead. You're stopping at half move.
So we just.
You're like
don't
thinking
have-
h5, now how will I win? h5, think about what black will do now. It's not like you have to do anything. You make a move. What will black do?
So it's like the
Black.
last move.
What last move?
Satisfied.
Huh?
It's just satisfied.
Oh, sad. After h5? This is not sad. This is just a regular thing. Now you,
This is
you
just
push
the
the pawn.
best position.
But you have to play calmly and not casually to win games. This is a very important lesson. Everyone will play king g6 if it's a normal game. I'm pretty sure. You will never believe that there is a way to not win that. But it is a draw after that. Anyway, let's look at one last position. So black has just played king here. It is white's turn.
White is up a queen.
White's up a queen, but
Yeah.
we're only up by 1 point
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
because he has 4 pawns for our pawn.
And it's about to.
And we are about to lose because pawns are about to promote. So let's think for 1 minute and then we will discuss what to do. It's a very tough predicament that we are in.
So again, we have to make white win.
Of course, if you can make white win, make white win. If you can draw the game, make it a draw. Whatever is best for the piece is down, Mr. Trinesh. You will soon eat it and then you'll have to wash it and come. So, piece is down. No, everyone says that, but then after 2 minutes, it'll be right here. Parth has eaten a piece before, no? No? Okay, fine.
I've once almost eaten on a wheel.
Uh-huh. Okay. So, if the position is winning, you make white win. You have to decide whether you can win or
My
not.
leg. So why are you making us sit like this? My leg is completely frozen to the ground.
You can get up, walk a little bit, and then
Actually, I don't
So
have
I'm
heat.
still focused.
you have found the move.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give some more. Trinesh, pieces down, please.
So how do you manage?
At this young age, you are getting leg pain.
No,
Oh.
my leg is getting frozen to the
Say-
ground.
Yeah.
Is it getting stuck to the ground? I don't
Yeah, I
know.
know.
Yeah.
It feels so weird.
It's not paining.
Not for me.
Like it is paining, kind of.
Because you keep on
You can sit up for a while then.
5 seconds.
I just
Okay. Let's ask Rayansh Manna, what have you found?
Queen to h3,
King takes pawn.
then queen to h7.
Well done. Rayansh Manna showing why he is the second highest, isn't it? Second highest in the media. Queen to h3. We see beyond the problems. Only then you win. Problems are many. He's going to take a pawn. He's going to push and promote. It's all problem. He's looking at his badge now. Say, this is why I found this. So, this is how you find good moves. You look beyond. Look at your chances. You've got one check, but don't stop there. You calculate and see the fourth.
So, but
But what he'll promote when you give a check?
so what if they play
King turn.
C6?
King c6.
Then we
you
play
promote.
queen to e6.
Just promote the pawn.
Then
Just
they
make a queen takes na with check. This is nothing. King can manage these 2 pawns. You don't need the queen for that. So after king takes, after the fork, the king is able to handle both pawns. There's no problem. Surprisingly, a rook cannot handle 2 pawns, but king can. If this was a rook, then this is game over. Black will win. He'll just push the pawn, you take, he promotes. But the king, no problem. You push, king takes, and you're winning. So that's it. White's going to win that. So, well done. Now we're going to start our game.